What if the deadliest mountain on Earth wasn't hidden in the remote ranges of Pakistan, but instead it stood right in the heart of America? Imagine K2, not in the Karakoram, but towering over New York City, its icy summit piercing the clouds above Manhattan, or rising from the depths of the Grand Canyon, turning one of the world's most visited tourist destinations into a graveyard of climbers. For decades, K2 has been known as the Savage Mountain, a place where 1 out of every 4 climbers never comes back alive. But what if this monster of rock and ice had been born in a different land? Would the tragedies have been the same, or would history have taken a completely different path? Today, on K2 Stories, we are going to reimagine the world's deadliest mountain in a place where millions could see it every single day. And trust me, once you picture K2 in America, you'll never see the mountain, or its tragedies, the same way again. Picture this. It's dawn in New York City. The streets are already buzzing with yellow cabs and coffee carts. But above the skyline, something feels wrong. Where the Empire State Building once dominated the view, now a monstrous pyramid of black rock and ice rises into the sky. This is not Manhattan as we know it. It's Manhattan overshadowed by K2. K2's jagged ridges slice the clouds, its summit buried in perpetual storms. The mountain is not just a backdrop, it becomes the heartbeat of the city, a terrifying presence looming over millions of people every single day. And suddenly, the Savage Mountain is no longer a distant, exotic nightmare. It's here. It's unavoidable. Now ask yourself, if K2 had been in America, would it have become the ultimate playground for adrenaline seekers? Or would it have been locked away as a forbidden zone, a scar in the heart of the nation? Already, you can see the pull of curiosity. Climbers from around the world would have rushed to New York or Arizona, chasing immortality on the most dangerous slopes known to man. And if history has taught us anything, tragedy always follows ambition. Let's take this further. Imagine the year is 1938. Instead of setting sail for Karachi and marching across glaciers in Pakistan, the first American expeditions to K2 would have gathered right here at Grand Canyon Village, or perhaps in a dusty field outside Manhattan. The newspapers would scream, "America as climbers face the Savage Mountain in our own backyard." The whole country would have followed every step. Radio broadcasts would report storms hammering the summit. Families would huddle around crackling speakers, listening to updates as though it were a war. And when tragedy struck, because on K2 tragedy always strikes, the funerals would not be in distant villages of Baltistan. They would be in Boston, Chicago, San Francisco. Mothers would mourn their sons on national television. Think of the cultural shift. Everest might never have become the ultimate symbol of human endurance. Instead, America's K2 would dominate the collective imagination. The Savage Mountain would be the test of a nation's courage, and every death would be broadcast, mourned, politicized. In this alternate reality, K2 doesn't just kill climbers, it kills in plain sight of millions. Now let's fast forward. Imagine K2 towering over Arizona today, in 2025. The mountain's deadly bottleneck would be live-streamed on TikTok. Drone footage would capture climbers dangling over sheer cliffs while millions watched from their phones. Every slip, every storm, every tragedy would go viral in real time. Picture a rescue attempt unfolding live on YouTube. Helicopters circling, ropes dangling, climbers battling hurricane winds. The comments section floods with prayers, debates, and morbid curiosity. In hours, hashtags like #GotYourSaveK2Climber would trend worldwide. And when the rescue fails, as it so often does on K2, the footage would remain online forever. Millions would replay the final moments, analyzing every mistake. But here's the darker truth. In Pakistan, K2 remained remote, accessible only to the world's most determined alpinists. But in America, the infrastructure, the access, the media coverage, it would have multiplied the tragedies. More people would have tried, more would have failed. The death toll would not just equal what we know today, it would explode. K2 in America wouldn't just be a mountain, it would be a mirror, reflecting our obsession with fame, spectacle, and pushing limits, even when it costs lives. But here's the twist. K2 the Savage Mountain is not in America. It never was. It still stands in the Karakoram, on the borders of Pakistan and China, a place so remote that even the bravest hesitate to go. And maybe that's the only reason the world doesn't fully grasp its horror. If K2 had been in New York or Arizona or the Alps, every death would have been headline news. Every lost climber would have been a national tragedy. But because it lies hidden in the high, cold silence of the Karakoram, the deaths are easier to forget. They fade into the thin air, remembered only by those who dare to climb. And that's the cruel paradox. K2 is deadlier than Everest, yet it remains a shadow. It is a mountain that devours lives, but because it does so far from our daily gaze, the world continues to ignore its cost. Out of sight, out of mind. So the question remains, if the Savage Mountain were in America, would we respect it more? Or would we destroy it faster, turning its tragedies into entertainment, its victims into hashtags, its legacy into spectacle? In the end, K2's danger doesn't come from where it stands. It comes from us, from human ambition, human ego, human refusal to turn back. And that's why K2 will always remain the world's deadliest mountain, no matter where it stands. This is K2 Stories. If this reimagined journey made you think differently about the Savage Mountain, don't just scroll away. Hit subscribe, join our community, and keep exploring the mysteries, tragedies, and untold legends of the world's most dangerous peaks. Because every story has another side, and we'll be here to tell it.